for both of these teams. You heard Ryan on the desk talk about how we should look for this matchup between Brahms and Takas on these Rainers to be crucial throughout the game, but still, into the pistol, anything can happen. Brahms looking for the shot, spots an owl drone and has to fall back. Over on the A site at the moment, Vitality looking to try and put pressure, and it might just work out if Brahms can draw too many players around him.
That's excellent stuff to start from Road, and as Hoppy joins, that defense seems to be strong for the moment. Vitality only down to 3, and their options are being limited in this pistol. Goes on, and well, as I say that, they might just make it flawless.
Yeah, behind the wall, the spike does go in, it does get planted, so a point brought on the board, but as you say, a flawless round to be able to get this defuse as well. Give the point over to the Sova, get that Hunter's Fury on board just a little bit quicker. Gonna try and bring that one in. 3 pips now towards the top there. Vitality, not really gonna find too much ground. I felt like it was good towards the start, you know, people drawing, being drawn over towards that B main, that entry, but the fact that BDS left a player to watch over A and they could get that frag, they could find those rotates, they could get those kills on the off angle and not have to go 4 versus 5 on a retake, which on a pistol is dangerous. You do not want to be going for those situations, especially when it's in a post-plant spot. You don't have any ults in the pistol. It's going to be very, very bare bones, very difficult to do if you don't play your cards right. So, BDS, heads up pistol. They need to convert now.
Well, Vitality might get a little fraud at this point in time. And as Loki and the boys try to enter the site, well, weaponry is obviously a big advantage over there for BDS. And, well, they don't seem to run on E anytime soon, as that was a very odd dash. Rams, though, with at least 1 reply. Roden being eliminated. The squad? Well, they haven't fully decided yet.
Brown's actually now up to pretty much full strength in this round with the Spectre and obviously the overhealing coming through up to 150. So pretty difficult to deal with actually in this situation. You can start to snowball these Rainers on up. Takas nowhere close really. As Logan wins out the duel against Sender on the off angles. And back to A they go against 2 as well on the defense. Going to be tricky to find these spots.
Left.
Rams a Colt seem to enter the spot any second soon. This Takas starts off good. Back with a proper reply. I'm not quite sure if the picture of Takas is a deep fried meme or actually a picture of himself. Brilliant stuff up on the ropes. And well, there you go.
From the turnbuckle. From the turnbuckle, it's able to deliver the drop shot, and Takas able to sail on past the crosshairs of the Marshal to close out the round. BDS, they're holding things down pretty well right now, but of course it is that pistol. They did choose defense to start things off. This should be their strongest side here. 2 rounds at the start. Vitality not worried just yet. And we're able to do a little bit of damage. It looks like on the cards now, though, for Vitality. On the 3rd round, they're going to stick to the Sheriffs, and they're going to keep things to the pistols to get a little bit more cash on board. BDS, 2 Ghosts, Spectres on the rest.
There you go. Good start from Takas. This is allowing the squad some decent options prevail against Vitality. Remember, though, it looked a little bit one-sided at the start of Bind as well, which caused some big worries for me. Like, I was very much thinking, no chance that this is going to be somewhere close. Vitality baffled, but at the end of the day, still success for BDS. And I mean, how flawless are you asking for it? Sure, weaponry wasn't too great, but Vitality didn't even deal a single bit of damage.
And the thing here is that you don't really mind about this. You've already got the 3rd round. You don't really mind about keeping things going. If you get this round, great. If not, you take the L, do as much damage as you can, buy up into the next, and then you hit Vitality where it hurts, in the pocket, in the wallet, and try and keep them down. But it looks like they're a little bit more worried about Vitality than that. Investments being made into the round The Vandal and the Guardian being picked on up, but the Spectre's maintained as well. So they are just trying to bonus up just a little bit, but in the 4th round, you need to be a little bit more careful. No operators on board for Vitality, so they aren't going to try and get any cheeky peeks. Some intel gathered. The Viper's walls are down over to B. This is a standard setup right now for BDS, and they don't have their flank player right now. They've sent... Vitality, sorry, have sent their player on out towards that A site to try and find something for Sender.
Toxins going up.
And maybe trying to control that middle, trying to watch for those players sneaking around the sidelines. But nothing to be found just yet as Brahms makes it all the way out onto B side.
Waits patiently. You see it right there, 4 players in front of the walls over on the B side. They'll explode any second soon, and while Sender hits no timing on his opposing lad that comes around, Takas at least finds one. This is a brilliant start, because this might be just the initiation of the flank. One player after another falls into the cold snow, and as cold as death as it is, Vitality's chances are pretty much diminished.
30 seconds
And again,
left.
in despair, we see the big V. No more chances, except there is a rabbit they pull out ahead, but they pretty much line up. And Hoppy with the Spectre. How many more rounds of a bonus do those guys get? They even get the weapons for free. This looks like a sponsorship.
Yeah, this isn't a bonus anymore. They're in this full buy era. They haven't had to overinvest. They've bought 3 rifles total, obviously with 1 player going down in that last round. Overall in this half, they will have bought 4 rifles. To outfit your entire team for the cost of 4 rifles over the first 5 rounds, that is absolutely incredible for your economy. You can see that they're already up 7.8k on Taka, 7.2 on Logan. And the rest of them, they've got enough for the next 2-3 rounds here. Vitality starting to look a little bit shaky. I said it wasn't too much to worry about after those first 2. Now's where you need to start picking it up. Loki does just that, lands a headshot. Takas looks for the spray and finds it to equalize.
And at this point in time, it seems a little like that BDS get a little greedy. I understand their system of finding those frags early on. Please don't get me wrong.
Here.
But after such an investment, getting all those weapons out, obviously, Vitality don't bring too much to the table. And do you really need to extend your own boundaries at that point in time? It's a long discussion we could have here. I'm just not too much of a fan of it at this point.
Rifles now in the hands of Vitality. Well, they get spotted out. No one takes down the bolt. A little bit too slow. Miscommunication potentially there as to who was going to have to take that one out. But A-Site looking to get the plant. There's the Hunter's Fury. That was baited out pretty effectively there. And Loki with the updraft and the tailwind, not even going to need it. Nails the headshot, and Hunter's Fury used. That is a real big blow to BDS.
A massive one indeed, but it's not done yet. As I say it though, Hoppy falls. And with Loki getting such a brilliant 4K, they bring it home. A sign of life for BDS, and their heart beats. Part of that is Vitality, nevertheless. Seems like they shaked off the cobweb off the rifles, ready to go, and ready to break the law of the jungle. Exactly what they're looking forward to. 4-1 for BDS.
At the moment, yeah, absolutely. And speaking of, sponsorships from the previous round, that's really solid for Vitality. It means that they can go full rifle into this one. 2 rifles needing to be bought on up, and they should be good for the next round. But with the wallet that BDS were able to chunk out, they still have a couple rounds left in them. So no biggie, no biggie. You just need to keep this one going, and that's exactly the way you want to start things out. Roden lands 2 with the operator. Looks for a third, can't get it, but Logan's there to back it up as well. Finds Brahms, and Vitality are in tatters yet again.
Like Lion ambushing Gazelle and Serengeti, though probably this is the total opposite environment if a Lion feels like comfortable. 5-1 indeed, and the battlefield that actually has been inspired by Bennett Island is still becoming ice cold for Vitality. They don't like this at all, and specifically, it looks at that point in time,
Yeah.
Chalabi doesn't like this at all.
Over-facing into the operator. They know there's a position. I think Roden overstayed there, I'll be honest, as well. I feel like you should have been taken down. It's just the timing on the peaks was so solid and unfortunate for Vitality as well. Now they're going to have to try and figure out something different. Vitality Looking again to move towards B though, and it's actually BDS who have changed things up. No Jet playing up close, not on the high ground there. So there's openings to be found. The question is, can they spot them out? Can they sniff them? Because the rotations come through, and already BDS are responding nicely.
Loki's taking a lot of room already, but I mean, Vitality, it seems like there's something in coordination missing with the squad, really. They just all somewhat stumble upon the side, shoelaces tied together. Still, Spike's gonna be put on the ground. This doesn't change the matter of fact that somehow BDS got a double man advantage and are looking for more, hungry to get more out of that. But Loki, as he moves around, that might be just a brilliant move, as though Roden is capitalizing on the opponent's not paying too much attention to him. Finally, the blades hit. Loki stays alive, but not for long. The puppeteer's pulling the strings, and the show belongs to BDS. Another one on the board, and I have a deja vu. I don't know how about you, but this is a damn deja vu we get.
This is really good for BDS right now, though. They've managed to nail the economy game so far in this half. They've allowed Vitality 1 round in the first 7, a fantastic result overall. And BDS looking strong. The question is it just their defense? I feel like ICEBOX is one of those maps where it's really, really sided for a lot of teams, right? They're going to be used to having a lot of rounds in the advantage and having that slip away. When you turn things on its head, when you get Vitality to hold on that defense, I mean, you saw what happened on Bind when they switched sides. On their map pick, they should be solid. BDS, though, need to get as many rounds in this half. Getting an 11-1, I think it doesn't matter how good your defense is. You're not coming back from that, especially on the momentum side of things, but Brahms opens well.
Brilliant stuff from Loki as he waits on the edge of the smoke. Distracting Roden. That worked according to plan. But he can't do that easily to Logan as he's getting onto the side. And as he floats, it's another operator put to use brilliantly.
How?
Again whiff, but he seems like to be somewhat of a bait and somewhat of a great sharpshooter at the same time. 2 versus 2 is not going to be easy here, John.
Shalabi, though, 1 found and looking for a second as well. Hoppy now in a 1 versus 1, locked in with Sender, who has got that snake bite. Looking to try and pop it on in. Doesn't see a shoulder.
He didn't huff it.
Goes in the route. Goes on the rope. Hoppy goes down and Sender nails it. Vitality get a second, but is it too little too late?
I can't believe it. Oh, no, man. That is a disaster. I thought he would at least half it. And I would have been then fine. Whatever. If that's okay. That's cool. That works. You can play off of that. Nope, that did not happen. And this leads us to Vitality getting a second. And again, this is a bit of a deja vu. This is the deja vu I have. Remember how it looked like over there on Vines.
It's not great. It's not great indeed. But Vitality pick up a second round. Looking for more. And Loki nails the opener again onto Roden, a crucial player. But fortunately, they trade it off. At this stage, Vitality can't afford to lose players. They've got so many ults, and they need to be spending them if they want to have a chance of picking them back up in this half to get the maximum value out of these agents. You've got the Viper Pit, you've got that Hunter's Fury, the Empress, you've got a lot of brute force forwards pushing power, but you need to invest it.
There goes. Brahms finds Logan. And Akuma attackers and Hoppy. In case you don't hear it, they move over to B. Quite fast, quite swift. But it seems like that hasn't been hurt too much. BDS. Oh, well. They're in a decent spot for now, making this man equalized. But Brahms knows how to keep control. Hoppy, though, has the antidote.
Seems to figure it out, and now the retake can come through. Not a lot of utility available now on either side, but there's 2 snake bites from Hoppy, potentially proving to be tricky.
There you go. Replies here, but, well, that went faster than expected. Shelbeck getting them all, and the 3rd round secured by Vitality. Well, remember the last time you promised us an 8-4 half over on this map? It didn't.
I didn't promise you a scoreline. I just want to put that out there early. I promised no scorelines this game.
I know. I said, I'm not saying that.
Hey, there's a distinct lack of egg on my face, all right?
All right, but were you on the verge of selling us a scoreline?
Yeah, I was going to predict an 11-1 for BDS, but
Understandable.
That hasn't happened. That already hasn't happened, which means that because I didn't do that, I'm still right.
Yeah, absolutely. No,
Pretty
I'm also a millionaire because I would have bought Bitcoin at $1 if I had a wallet back then. But
I don't like that you're making fun of me right now.
I'm sorry for that. Nevertheless, attack over on the A side and Akuma waiting over on the other side of that wall.
Investing the Hunter's Fury, moving forwards, Vitality get picks, BDS try and turn around, but the spike's already in, and we're into post-plant. Sender has that Viper's Pit, hasn't invested it just yet, as the trades are going well for Vitality.
They do very much, and well, Hoppy gotta consider if he's gonna use that pit or not. At the moment, it doesn't look like it would be a great investment, as though he gets one, sees the head of Vac, but can't turn it around. Well, Vitality, it seems like once they start to have that taste of blood in their mouth, they certainly start to realize what it tastes like and how good they can actually perform on such a map. BDS, they felt comfortable on Bind, well, also because it was their decision. Vitality haven't shown us too much of that yet, but it seems like the engine starts to finally run.
I imagine this is a tactical timeout for BDS. I would think, you've got to regroup, think about just what you're doing here, what openings are Vitality finding? Because at the moment, it feels like, yeah, there you go, there's the tactical timeout. It feels like the openings that Vitality are finding are purely just aim duel picks, and it feels like the majority of that is coming from Loki over towards this A site. I don't imagine that it's really anywhere else. The B site has been a lot harder for them to take away. You've seen how effective Rodent has been on this jet, holding out on that site, on B main, the pressure there. The flanks have been good down mid, and it feels like the weak link in this mesh on the defense here for BDS is on that A side of this map. And moving in, how do you stop that? I feel like you do need to put a little bit more pressure potentially towards mid, or on the flip side, you could try and stack it, especially on a pistol. It feels like that's what BDS have isolated, have tried to figure out with the Viper wall, already having gone down towards A as well. For Vitality on this attack, it's a pretty surefire thing that they're at least going to try to go on in here. And against two Guardians, could be pretty tricky.
And as you say in French, allez is probably the motto for Vitality so far. As though, there's the one or the other life insurance inside of BDS. One orb that Akuma is away from getting himself the Hunter's Fury. As I say that, Logan goes on and on. Could revive if he feels like it. In the meantime, a lot of B control obtained by Hoppy. It's a wild beginning, and here it goes. Hunter's Fury is ready.
Akuma as well, nailing the shot down mid, and that's the pressure that I said I wanted to see from BDS. I mean, they managed to get the range, they managed to push on through, and Vitality hadn't gone fast and loose towards A. Hoppy, you need to land those.
This is where I just hope that they realize any second soon that Vac is coming in from behind, or at least not from spawn, because you saw that little recon darts did not get any information on the second player. This is where you could assume what's happening. And if I see correctly, Akuma's already looking in that direction. And obviously, this is the point where I'll just go a little further, is where, in case this works according to plan, which it does, BDS have now an absolute chunk of ults ready. 4, and 4 quite useful ones that should secure them round number 8.
It's going to be pretty tricky to stack up against that. An excellent push down mid comes through. This is a 4-player push all the way down. Shalabi only able to find one. The spam for Bram's not quite good enough to find more than that. And you're right, the res was pretty crucial here for Logan to bring one back. Looking at what Vitality have to offer, they've got that Viper's Pit and that res available, but they're nowhere near the Hunter's Fury, and the knives are there, sure, but is that going to really play into it? Evenly matched ults, though, for both of these sides, and the first pick nails Shalabi for no res for Vitality.
There it goes. Akuma is getting Sender, but only one of them. Is that enough?
No pit.
Of course it is. It looks very much like it, at least, if he keeps on hitting those shots, and goodness gracious. A flawless seems to come in at this point in time. And Vac, he's just dodging the blades, at least.
Okay, lands a second. But that's going to be it. And you remember when I predicted 8-4, I actually meant this game at the first half to BDS, not the other game that we were talking about. But 8-4 at the half, BDS, they get a good defense. Now Vitality need to come alive. This is their map pick. They are currently 0-1 in the series. Last chance for them to stay alive. This is the lower bracket. Can't slip up here anymore. And going in at an 8-4 deficit is not the place you want to be at. And it's unfortunate. These guys, it feels like they've had such a good run. They're definitely scrappy. They have the chops to do it. They've brought in some new blood, and Shalabi at the moment on this Sage has not had the impact that you maybe want them to have. However, fair enough. It is Sage playing on ICEBOX. You've got to put Brahms onto these Rainers.
Well, question is who will reign and who will get the wooden spoon. BDS so far looking like they put Vitality in the booster seat, go into an empty parking lot and do some donuts. They definitely don't like it back there, but BDS, they have a great time. But for how long is the question, because Brahms escapes. Roden has taken a lot of room, but he's might just getting attacked from 2 levels. From top and bottom, can though dash out at the right time. Spikes on the ground. Yep, that's dangerous. Doesn't work. Oh.
Hops around the corner, able to land the shots onto Hoppy, trying to take some angles, but Vitality move back through. Roden and Takas now trying to hold off, but one player's holding the back, the other player's on site, and it's not going to go their way. Takas, though, able to get the heal, but Shalabi denies it. Very, very close. It looked
so damn possible. It looked possible. It looked damn possible, but for now, I gotta say, I'm genuinely excited to see this one again, because once more, look how Bind developed. It was a disaster, a 7-1 start for BDS, and suddenly Vitality seems like they forgot that actually there's an alarm clock saying, oh, you got an official, by the way, made it work at that point in time, and once in a while they showed that they will not just easily relinquish. Sure, they lost, but a 13-9 looks definitely different as 7-1, and once more, ICEBOX might just bring us the same.
But that's the thing, right? Rounds in Valorant tend to come in sort of clumps, economic momentum, and being able to have those gun rounds, those pistol rounds. So in that 7-1, you probably had 3 or 4 crucial rounds, and losing 3 out of those 4, that's not as bad as it looks for 7-1. You extend that over the game, that's where you start to find your 13-9s. And it's the playing of averages that is really, really important, and Vitality, they might need to exceed those expectations. They're starting off well, but if they're going to lose players like that, they cannot afford to slip up more than once.
And Spikes down, that's the thing. I mean, there's not too much more utility for denial over on the side of BDS. We don't see a snake bite.
There they are.
Or any further darts that could help them advance, but Hoppy, he just needs a rifle or submachine gun, call it whatever you want. The swing is right, Loki's sticking it. No, he's only halving, but it doesn't change the matter of fact that this might be just working so well. He's on it, 13 points of health, and eliminated in the end. Vitality struggle again, no consecutive round gained, and this also means a round where they live in poverty most likely.
Not really going to have too much to buy on in here. It's going to be pretty tricky, though, for BDS. They're not going to be super flush themselves. They'll buy up these rifles, sure, but we've seen Eco's work. The question is, can Vitality do it on the flip side? Investing pretty much all their money here. You can see that there's 2 players really with a little bit left behind. If they lose this round, it'll be tricky. But coming up against Vitality's arsenal, it is not looking to be too much of a trouble for them to move on into this defense. The Sheriffs are there, mostly just classics though. Only Brahms and Shalabi have got those Sheriffs on board. It's going to be pretty tricky to move on forwards, but BDS, they're isolating those angles, they're clearing, they're playing disciplined. The flank from Vitality, it worked on the pistol, needs to work again.
Oh, there you go.
It will
that
not.
Flank, you don't get it. They just seem to be toying around with their dinner, and BDS,
wow.
They enjoy their time.
Wow, wow, wow. BDS, as you say, absolutely enjoying this right now. 10-5 on the half. They've managed to bring things back in their favor after losing the pistol. 2-1 on this half as well. This flank is really what needed to work out for Vitality. Hoppy nails that spray down. Absolutely perfect there. Able to hold things off. Goes pretty low, but does the job. A flawless round for BDS means that they can start to stump their economy on up. And Loki bringing the operator this time around. Is it desperation coming through from the Jet here on Vitality?
Blocking sight.
Well, the problem is that's very costly desperation. 4,700 credits to be accurate, and I don't know if you want to say that this is really how desperation should look like, because as we all know, this is not a sprint, this is a marathon. Specifically for Vitality, this is not a sprint, this is a marathon. If they make it work on this map, there's still one more to go, which they need to succeed on as well. They start off good. As Akuma's out, still, they push over on B.
For more, the wall goes up to see them further. Shalabi's traded, and now they're up into the tubes.
Well, the problem is Bram's being eliminated that easily. Vitality really, their backs against the wall. The chance is getting slimmer and slimmer and slimmer, and it's just not nice to see for a team that has invested so much time and showed specifically that they're capable of making progress. That is the thing. It's not like Vitality was sleeping the entire time. Sure, they were not that much on the main stage as we would have expected from them. At the same time, the sinister times of the Big V, you don't want to see them continue because those dark clouds are coming.
There is so many times in this game where I've been like, okay, now is when Vitality come back. You know, at first I thought, okay, they got a couple rounds. Now they're going to go 6-6. Okay, well, you know, it's the half now. Now they're going to start to come back. And time and time again, BDS have surprised me. Coming into this game, I expected, sure, maybe they'll take a couple rounds. Maybe they'll be even able to get a game. But this is a BDS that I was not expecting to see come on through. I don't think the desk was either. Vitality, they've been leaving things open. Fat going down again, like they're just losing players. What can you do here? You need to stem the flow. Where's the tactical time?
The Sender is trying his best. This is where it starts. And Vitality, they're most definitely running on E. Whilst there's no room for complacency, seems like they definitely need to refuel themselves, become revitalized, but they seem to have landed in disastrous realm of grief where they just can't find a way out of there. No escalator, no elevator, no ladder, nothing that brings them back on ground level. 7 in a row from this point on, John.
Really tricky, really tricky. And I mean, you spoke about how, sure, it's expensive to get that operator in 2 rounds ago. You can get another one. You're going to sacrifice full armor for Loki. Vitality need to get value here. Opening onto Takas, this is good, but is it going to be enough when you answered immediately?
There it goes. Flies here. Shalabi's bringing another one back onto the server. But Logan could do the same, very obviously. Would need to take a long way around through middle to get one of the soldiers back alive. But the Viper's pit at the right time being used. Logan might be killed, but you still need to go into that massive poison cloud for Hoppy away to do a mistake. Besides the fact that he got 2 snake bites ready, so whenever you try to start defusing, enjoy it. First one comes on the ground. Akupa waits for a mistake of his enemies. There it comes. Brilliant stuff. It's only Hoppy to do anything about it, but here finally the fuse comes in. 6 in a row now.
Goodness me. 12-6, and it's still death door right now for Vitality. They are really playing up against it. They're on the wall. They need to stop themselves from top-running. BDS, I mean, it's just 1 round, right? It is just 1 round. You stack those ults, you get ready. You've got Hunter's Fury. You've got that that Viper Pit. I mean, sure, you invested it just there, but you should be able to get another one on board before the end of this half. Unless, of course, it goes to overtime. But at this stage, I don't see Vitality being able to come back from this. They're going to need to invest every single round. They need to put everything on the line. You have the knives, you've got that Viper's Pit, but when those run down, you're coming up against so much in the pocket for BDS. And Roden might just be able to sail all the way over this one. Taken down.
I don't know about you, but that seemed a little too eager for my taste.
Poppy opens up over towards A side. I think the drones will try and counter each other out. BDS, they equalize on the picks, and B site is completely countered out. They might want to try and fall back there, try and time out that Viper pit, but not going to happen. Not this time around.
Toxin screen down.
He's playing off the edge of it. Starts off good. Sender. He's finding one for now, and as he re-peaks, it seemed too eager. And look what Logan has, exactly that revive. Vac can gain a lot of information for his teammates, but in the meantime, they know that A seems somewhat free.
But they're going to know that this B push hasn't come through yet, and that's why Loki's sitting there, moves in with the
30
knives.
seconds left.
The hunt begins.
There you go. Good start. Eliminated. And that's only back for you. The story of Vitality might have ended at this point, and it would be a miracle that Vac needs to perform on his own. No chance! It's BDS who once more stay alive and remain in full condition and intact over in the jungle. But, my dear John, this is where we have to say bye-bye to Vitality. No more appearances in the Valorant Champions Tour circuit.